友们，大家好！非常高兴大家能够收看我们的视频采访。今天我们也非常荣幸的采访到来自美国 Oh I Get It 总裁 and co-founder 尤福林先生。尤福林先生呢，可以说是硅谷非常有名的人物，他有很多的精彩从业经历。那我们今天就来听听他来怎么说。你好，尤福林先生，非常高兴你能接受我们 Silicon Valley Times 的采访。我们知道您也是互联网级的元老的人物，那既然您在白宫有着这种工作经历，可不可以介绍当时您在工作的时候跟克林顿和奥巴马有哪些好玩的故事吗？
Sure, absolutely. I think the most interesting story, or people like to hear, is when we were first working with the internet, a lot of the staff members inside the White House were not sure if the internet was going to be as big for society as it became. And so I was one of the early advocates for focusing more on the internet in my group. It was very interesting because it was very, very early, and the internet was something that people just weren't sure of. But I always knew that the internet would connect people, and the internet would allow people to have more opportunities, regardless of where they grew up in America.
那我想这件事可能也并非是一帆风顺，中间也可能经历了挫折。那有没有具体的某件事情，比如说您向克林顿或奥巴马提了哪些建议啊，然后呢促进了这项事情的发展呢？
Sure. So when we were deciding on how parts of the country were going to use the internet, I had proposed to the senior staff in Washington at the White House that we needed more resources to help educate the scientists and engineers. We needed to plan to have an increased number of programs, education programs, and training programs to help create more scientists and engineers, because they're the future of our country. And given that we were going to roll out something that was technical like the internet, we needed to have the right workforce. We wanted the workforce to be more technical. And so initially when I brought up the idea, it wasn't necessarily well understood or accepted. And I had to keep pushing and to the point where people were questioning, why should I continue to discuss something like that?
所以也就是说，您为这个互联网的推进也做了很多的贡献那作为美国的前白宫的创新顾问，您现在又所在硅谷，您是怎么解读“创新”二字的意义？同时，这以前的创新跟现在创新，或者20年前的创新跟20年后的创新又有哪些不同吗？
Yes, there are. I think when you first, so I've had a number of achievements in my career where I've introduced new ideas. And when we were introducing the internet, innovation back then was a word to explain something very simple. To innovate was to do something in a different way, in a new way. Innovation now is more of a mindset, it's a community, it's a global idea. Innovation means more than just inventing. Innovation means having this mindset, this lifestyle, this attitude. And in China, you see that a lot. They use the word innovation very, very much. In America, not so much, because we've used it so many years. But in China, innovation, the word innovation is the most attractive, I believe, and means so much in China. So it has evolved, and it has become more meaningful because it means more of a global community innovation.
是的，我们也知道您现在也是非常忙碌，经常往返于中国和美国之间，包括昨天你也刚刚从中国回来。那么您刚才也解释到，中国和美国现在都在创新的发展道路上都是强势的。那么如何来看待，如果两个国家在同一个赛道上比赛的话，中国是否会实现弯道超车呢？
Sure. So I just got back from Beijing, China, after spending a week, 7 to 10 days there. And I've gone back every month for the past 14 months. So I have a very good understanding, I think, of innovation in China, innovation in America. And in my speeches, I've given 10 speeches last year and 2 already this year. In one of my speeches, I discussed the comparison between China and the US. And America has always led in terms of innovation. And they've been the superpower for many decades. In China now, the government is very supportive of innovation, extremely supportive, the central government. And so they've allocated billions of dollars to support innovation in key cities. So when you look at the graphs of funding for research and development, you see that China is spending twice as much than the United States in terms of funding for research and development. So if you spend twice as much in that area of research and development, it's safe to say that you're going to create more products, more innovation, more ideas. And so at some point, China will ultimately lead in the role of innovator, global innovator. Of course, America is leading currently, but China is very close in second place. And I think ultimately, at some point, they will lead.
那这是一个非常好的前景，也是我们可能中国人更愿意看到的。当然了，两国的实力，我相信，未来不管是美国取胜还是中国取胜，都将为我们的这个科技发展创新带来更好的前景的趋势。那现在目前来说呢，我们这个时期也是比较敏感，中美之间的这个贸易的问题，所以您是如何来看待中美之间的贸易是否会对我们两国之间的经济或者是科技创新有所影响呢？
Sure, in terms of the trade war. So yes, I think in terms of innovation and how it's related to the trade war, I believe those are very separate. It will affect it slightly, but I think it won't necessarily affect innovation in China because they're so focused, there's so much energy to take part in this innovative wave that's taken over China in all the major cities. In America, I think innovation won't necessarily be hurt by the trade war. I think it's going to be the first line that will be affected will be the consumers. Not so much the entrepreneurs. Of course, entrepreneurs are consumers, but the consumers will probably feel the effect of the trade war with increased pricing of goods and services. So I really believe that innovation will continue despite the trade war. And hopefully the trade war will be resolved in the upcoming months or year. And it definitely does not help, but I don't see it slowing down innovation.
那太好了，这个我们也都是希望贸易战不会对我们的经济发展有所影响，这是最好的。那据我们了解，您跟中国也是有不解之缘，您的祖辈也是出生在香港，据我了解，所以您还有一个中文名字。那您来介绍一下您跟中国的这些不解之缘吧。
Sure. In the past, so I traveled last year in 2017, 10 times. I delivered a keynote speech in 7 cities, and it was very exciting. It's very exciting as an American to travel to China so much and to see and to be able to compare the two economies, to be able to compare the attitudes of the entrepreneurs to see the American entrepreneurs and the Chinese entrepreneurs firsthand, to be there. And also, in speaking as a keynote speaker, I was able to interact with some of the crowd. The crowds are massive in China. They're 5 times the size in America. Here in the Silicon Valley, we'll have 200-300 people at a conference, an average conference. In China, you have 2,000 to 3,000 people, and sometimes more. And what I've learned is that they're a new capitalistic economy in China, and so there's a lot of opportunity. They've been introduced to different forms of innovation. They're pursuing, they're investing. The government is very supportive of this innovative agenda, and so the Chinese community is being fueled by that support, and also it's increasing their attitude, their hunger, their desire for more innovation, to be part of this new economy. And they are a significant part of the global economy. In America, we've been established for many years as a capitalistic country, and I think when it's very interesting to see both. You definitely do see differences, and as time goes on, like this year I went back twice to China, you even see more of a difference in terms of the level of enthusiasm. There is a lot of enthusiasm in Silicon Valley because this is the capital of innovation and the capital of technology and America's jewel. But in China, it's very exciting. Last year I spoke at Chungwan Sun, the forum. It was a great honor to speak at Chungwan Sun. I was the only American keynote speaker, and I spoke to 3,000 people. And it was very exciting, it was very gratifying to hear the stories of entrepreneurs in China and to just learn more about the culture and learn more about the business environment there. It's very exciting.
OK， 那您作为中国的这个老朋友，也经常演讲。那我相信为什么有这么多人去听您的演讲，肯定是您能够帮助他们、启发他们，甚至影响中国。那包括您现在自己也是一个创业者，也有自己的公司。那您的公司现在是什么样？您可以介绍一下吗？
Sure, absolutely. It's been very exciting to go to these cities, the very different levels of cities in China, and to see how inspired the entrepreneurs get when I deliver these keynote speeches. Because in my keynote speeches, I like to talk about promise, about the future, about never giving up. Because I've been an entrepreneur, and I know what it is, how difficult it can be sometimes when you grow a small startup. But it's very gratifying to share my stories with them and to see how they react very positively. And I also mentioned my new company. This is my 3rd startup. It's AI, artificial intelligence driven news site. It's an instant news site. So we haven't launched mobile yet, but we are going to launch mobile in the upcoming months. But we've developed the whole platform, artificial intelligence, and we deliver instant news to your mobile device, to your cell phone. And we're going to be launching it in America and hopefully launching it in China. And I've been introducing instant news. Oh, I get it, instant news to China and America, and we've received a lot of positive feedback. We recently developed a feature, a very important feature. That's called the fake news filter, which the user will be able to know what is a real story and what is a fake news story.
那太好了，我们也特别期待您的这个公司的手机软件可以应用到更广泛。那我觉得现在目前有很多从硅谷的出去的这个著名人物比如像 Steve Hoffman 或者像这个还有一些创业家。那我想他们的身上有一个核心标签就是硅谷。 从硅谷出去，但我觉得您的身上有2个标签，一个是硅谷，一个是白宫。所以呢，那我想未来是不是您也有计划，就是出版一本自己的书，向更多的人讲述您在白宫和在硅谷的各种各样的故事呢
？Sure. Yes, of course. I think eventually I'll write a book to share some of my experiences. I'll write a book that will include some stories for entrepreneurs. I think it's going to be an inspiring book, a book to inspire, a book to motivate individuals to become more entrepreneurial. Because we live in a global society, and we live in a technological society, innovation society. So I believe the more stories we can share with individuals who are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, the better it'll be. And especially in China, and it'll be in Chinese and in English. I'll make sure to do that because I think it's so important to share the story. And there are a lot of entrepreneurs. There are a lot of relatively famous. And I'm just very fortunate, I'm grateful that I do have 2 sides to my career. My innovation side as an entrepreneur, having launched startups, successful startups, and also my government experience at the White House as a White House advisor, technology policy specifically. So I was very fortunate to be on that technology team to have brought out the internet into society, into America, and then the rest of the world. So it'll be a book that I'll have to clear by my bosses, but hopefully I'll have some interesting stories.
是，谢谢。我们也非常期待您的新书能够很快的面世。现在我们也在尤福林先生的办公室，在后面看到了很多精彩的照片。我相信大家对这个肯定非常熟悉，有克林顿、奥巴马。那我们就请尤福林先生来讲述一下其中后面的故事吧。
So this one is probably the most famous picture. It's a picture with President Clinton and Hillary Clinton. And what's special about this is it's inside the White House. It's an official White House photo by the photographer of the White House who took it. So it's a very memorable picture for me. It means a lot when I worked for the president. And then this, of course, is Hillary Clinton recently. This was about a year ago when she ran for the presidency of the United States. So I went to an event to support her. And then, of course, this is an official picture of President Obama. I served I worked for the president during his 2012 campaign. I was a campaign aide. And of course, this picture here is very special. Can take it down? Yeah, this is President Clinton on a horse. Very rare.
I know, yeah.
And his senior advisor, my boss, Harold Ickes. And so they dedicated this photo to me. So it's a very special photo, very rare.
Very special.
Yeah. This was while he was president. And then this picture here is an old boss of mine. His name is Leon Panetta. He was chief of staff to the president, Clinton, very famous man. He was also the director of the CIA under Obama. He was also Secretary of Defense, Department of Defense under Obama. So very famous American
Now he lives
government
in Silicon Valley?
Yes, he lives in Monterey Bay. He retired, and he lives in Monterey Bay. So this was during one of the events in Washington, D.C., and we took a memorable picture. And then this picture here is 4 months ago. This was Hillary Clinton. We can take this down. This is Hillary with my 3 daughters. I took my 3 daughters to meet their hero. And so we went to an event with Hillary Clinton, and this is my oldest, Juliet, my middle, Angelina, and Sophia. Thank you. Thank you. And then this picture here is Hillary Clinton. When she saw my daughter wearing it, she said, I want to take a picture of it because of the importance of the note, the message. It says, anything boys can do, girls can do better.
Good.
So, girl power, woman power.
Yeah.
And so my youngest daughter, she wants to be president of the United States one day, and that's her hero. And now if you look here, We can take this down so you can see, because it's difficult to see. But this is a group of pictures that were special events in my life during White House times. And of course, this one here is in the Oval Office of the president. This is a very rare photo. Behind here is the John F. Kennedy desk, a very famous desk.
Yeah,
And
another picture.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I had a project that my nephew sent me. It was a flat Stanley, and I was showing it in the Oval Office. And of course, this is on a trip with me and the Vice President Gore. This was on another trip to California with President Clinton. This was at the White House.
Yeah.
This, of course, is the president in the backyard of the White House with his senior advisor. This is also a very important picture of mine. This is me and my old boss at the White House, Harold Ickes. He's a very famous American politician. His father was Franklin Roosevelt's right-hand person, his most senior advisor, his father. So he grew up with the Roosevelt children. And then this is one of our 4th of July celebrations. White House staff could bring their families and celebrate in the backyard of the White House for the 4th of July. And of course, this is one of my trips to California when we were hosting the governor of California, Gray Davis. And this is a famous helicopter of the president, Marine One, the backyard right before he gets on.
Oh.
Yeah. And then if you look over here, was when I served as the coordinator of an event for Vice President Gore. I was overseeing a group of Secret Service officials and a team to help prepare the visit of Vice President Gore to a school in San Francisco. And you could see the Secret Service behind him and Mrs. Gore right behind him. So I was the first one as he walked in to say hello and then to guide him and direct him into the event. And of course, this is an official photo from the White House in the famous China room of the president's White House. And you can see Vice President Gore and Mrs. Gore.
好，谢谢大家观看我们本期视频采访。接下来，我们 Silicon Valley Times 将会带给大家更多精彩的大咖专访。谢谢大家。
Thank you very much, Silicon Valley Times, for inviting me to speak. I enjoyed the interview. And don't forget about I Get It, instant news.